Alright, so imagine thinking that you're so important, so special, that you're above the law. Or at least special enough to go through red lights. Because FIFA requested a full police motorcade just to escort this guy around Vancouver. It's a prime example of rules for thee, but not for me. Did I say that right? Anyways, but it's not just about them wanting to skip the lights. It's about who's actually paying for all of this. Because I have a few reports in Vancouver and Toronto, and it's going to show how much it's going to cost the taxpayers. The tourism cash cow that we were promised is starting to look more like a taxpayer nightmare.
Mayor Ken Sims said it would be a tourism cash cow.
Equivalent of probably 30 to 40 Super Bowls.
Yeah, shut the F up, Ken. It's a little too early in the video to swear. But anyways, in this video, I'm going to show you how FIFA's treating Canada, well, specifically Toronto and Vancouver, like their personal ATM. So let's get started with the first report, and I do want to thank the multiple people that sent these over to me.
The first FIFA World Cup games at BC Place will kick off in 47 days. But it's been almost a year since the public was last updated on the cost to host part of the tournament. Jordan Armstrong joins us now with more on the security plans and demands made by FIFA's top brass. Jordan, what have you learned?
Chris, the FIFA president is hardly a household name, at least not around here. Yet we're hearing his people wanted Vancouver households to fund his pricey perk.
Do you know who the president of FIFA is?
Oh, no, and I don't really care.
This lady's response is awesome. I mean, who really cares about this guy? You organize FIFA. You're not royalty. I mean, take a freaking Uber. Or hell, I'll buy you a Compass Pass for the SkyTrain. But you have to wonder, what other requests has FIFA made to Vancouver as well as Toronto that haven't been made public yet? Like, do they want a mint on their pillow as well?
I can picture him, but I can't remember his name.
His name is Gianni Infantino, and in FIFA's eyes, he's a really big deal. Just below the Pope, but on par with the American president, at least in terms of security. Global News has learned FIFA wanted a full motorcade escort for Infantino, so he could travel without disruption and go through traffic lights. Sources say that request went to Vancouver Police and was denied.
Now, I'm glad the VPD denied this, because this is just ridiculous if you ask me. And if they asked in Vancouver, you know for sure that they probably asked in Toronto as well. Now, I don't know if Toronto approved it or not, but I haven't seen any reports on it. But if anyone knows, let me know.
Everywhere you want to go.
A statement from Mayor Ken Sims' office reads in part, any transportation arrangements that are made will be appropriate, measured, and consistent with how Vancouver safely hosts major international events.
Hey, I have an idea. Why doesn't Ken Sim drive this guy around the city? And pay for your own gas? Because you're probably one of the lead guys that wanted FIFA in Vancouver. So it makes sense that you drive this guy around on your personal dime. And if it sounds like I'm annoyed at Ken Sim, I am. I never liked the guy. And even though I'm overseas, I still need to pay property tax.
The motorcade, just a taste of FIFA's elaborate requests, most of which remain hidden from the public. The secrecy extends to the security budget. BC taxpayers are still in the dark weeks before kickoff.
We have been in conversations with the federal government and expect to have an update about their contribution in short order.
What is the provincial contribution?
I'm not able to share that at this time.
Right now, the province, at a time, they have a record $13.3 billion deficit. We're seeing cuts at various levels throughout ministries, and they can't even produce a number on what the security costs are going to be.
What is clear, the World Cup matches will have the largest police deployment in Vancouver's history.
Now that actually scares me, because later on they're going to tell you how much the 2010 Olympics cost when it came to security. But if the FIFA World Cup is going to have the biggest security detail, and even bigger than the 2010 Olympics, then the number that they're going to show you later is going to be peanuts compared to what this is going to be.
The primary focus is, remember, is the safety not only of those players and participants coming, but of the general public and, an increase in tourism that comes to the regions.
Jones says the unprecedented security will include officers from the VPD, RCMP, plus Calgary and Edmonton's municipal forces. Looking back at the 2010 Olympics, the initial estimate for security, $175 million. The actual cost, $900 million.
Yep, 5 times more of the cost. And if the FIFA World Cup is going to have a bigger security detail or presence, I really wonder what the cost is going to be for FIFA. And I'm sure Toronto is going to have the same problem as well. But you know who doesn't have this problem? Montreal. They dodged a bullet. Good on you guys and your government for saying no to the fascist FIFA.
All right, those are some big figures. What's the budget figure people should remember for this upcoming FIFA event?
$345 million. That's the projection from the province in terms of security. 10 months ago. No update since, but no doubt it has changed. Chris.
For sure. Thanks very much, Jordan.
So I'm really curious to see what the security budget is going to be for Vancouver. I mean, it went from 175 to 900. For the Olympics, that was like 14 years ago. No, wait, more than that. 26 years ago. No, 16 years ago. And a lot of inflation has happened in 16 years. So I'm really curious to see what the final budget is for the FIFA World Cup security in Vancouver. Now, the next report is from CTV, and they talk about the same topic. But they do bring up a few points that Global didn't bring up. Let me show you.
We are just a month and a half away from the World Cup, and work is underway at BC Place to get the venue ready to host 7 matches. But with all the preparations taking place, there is one huge cost that's still a mystery: security. CTV's Rob Buffum is live in Victoria. And Rob, the minister responsible was repeatedly pressed about the cost today.
Jung, we are just 45 days away from hosting the world's biggest sporting event, and the Public Safety Minister, Nina Krieger, still wouldn't say what it would cost British Columbians to keep folks safe.
Does anybody else find it weird that 45 days until the event starts, nobody knows how much the cost is going to be? My guess is that they don't even know themselves. I mean, the government.
Police officers ever to enforce an event in Vancouver, with the city hosting 7 World Cup games in June and July. The most recent estimate for the overall cost of hosting is between $532 million and $624 million. That figure was last June, however, and it went up significantly from initial estimates. It's also expected to go up again when the final figure is provided. For the security component alone, Ottawa has said it will contribute to the cost, but the public safety minister says she doesn't know how much yet, and she would not disclose how much BC is footing for security.
Now, I'm not going to play this because it's the same speech that she did in the last report, which was kind of like a whole lot of nothing. The last estimate at the high point was $624 million last June, almost a year ago. And if I had to take a random, uneducated guess, my guess is that the high point of the budget is going to be anywhere from like $800 million to maybe even $1 billion. That's just my guess. And like I said, it's an uneducated guess. But what I'm confident on is that this number is not going to go down. It's only going to go up. And we know for sure that Vancouver's not the only city that's having security cost problems. Because we already know that Boston and LA are having their own issues as well when it comes to security. I don't know, this whole FIFA thing, it just reminds me of like inviting a guest into your house. And all they do is whine and complain and ask for more and more and more. And finally, when they leave, you're left with a bill of all the damage that they've done. I'm not speaking by experience, by the way. A guest like that would never be invited into my house. But I do want to move on to the last report, which talks about Toronto's FIFA fan zone, which was free, then it wasn't free, then it had VIP tickets, now it's free again, but then with VIP tickets, and I don't know what, I kind of lost track. But all I know is that Toronto is $5 million in the hole right now for this event. Let's take a look.
Hi, Nathan. Yeah, a lot of people are anticipating a great big party. So far, we still just have renderings about that aforementioned party, but we're told that starting this weekend, we're going to start to see the Fort York National Historic Site start to be transformed into FIFA Fan Fest for a 22-day festival. There are a lot of exciting elements, but there are also still a lot of unanswered questions logistically in terms of how this is all going to work. Let's start with what we do know. We know that, as I mentioned, starting this weekend, we're going to start to see construction crews here turning this into a fun place for family and fans. There's going to be a 40-foot stage here. There are going to be a lot of different zones, a mini soccer pitch. In fact, Cardinal Official is one of the creative geniuses who's behind this, and he's bringing in a lot of his friends and fellow artists to perform. Sean Desmond, Alessia Cara, Bedouin Soundclash, Deborah Cox. They're going to be performing throughout this 22-day fest.
Well, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of events and things to do there. Would be nice to have a little bit more than just renderings right now. I don't even know what Vancouver's doing. All I know is Vancouver Fan Zone is going to be at the P&E somewhere. And there's only a limited amount of like free tickets and the rest you got to pay for. But 45 days is not a lot of time to get all of this set up. And both cities are really starting to run out of time.
So there's going to be a lot of exciting elements, but one of the big questions is getting in and out. We know there's been a lot of controversy around, will this be free? Will this cost people? We do know now that the majority of tickets are going to be free. There are a small portion of premium tickets, which will cost between $100 to $300, but everyone, whether you are paying for a ticket or getting a free ticket, you still do need to secure a ticket on Ticketmaster. That will become available starting on May 6th. One of the unanswered questions right now are in and out privileges. If you show up in the morning and you leave, does your ticket then go back up for someone else to grab, or can you come back in? The city says they are still working on a plan on that front to figure out how that's going to work.
Now, like I said, 45 days is not a lot of time. But what they mention is that you have to actually reserve these tickets on Ticketmaster. But how much do you want to make a bet that these tickets are going to end up on StubHub or Craigslist for like $100 or like $50 or something like that? You would be lying to yourself if you think the scalpers are not going to try to get into this. And I hope the city of Toronto factors this in as well.
Another big question now is this funding shortfall. Because the FanFest is now free for the majority of people, there is a $5 million shortfall. We asked the mayor, Olivia Chow, a number of times, have they solved that gap? At this time, they are still looking for partnerships and sponsorships. The city says they will not go over that budget regardless, but they don't have a plan yet in place. We also asked the Minister of Sport of Ontario, a provincial representative who is here today. We asked him if the province will be stepping in to fill that gap. He said no. Have a listen to more from officials today about FanFest and what people can expect.
The performances are curated by Cardinal Official himself, and a lineup of artists that captures everything Toronto is. Loud, proud, and unmistakably ours. Families, young people, neighborhood, neighbors, newcomers, doesn't matter who you are, visitors, they are in for a treat. It's something for everyone, all day, every day.
Now, I'm sure the fan zone will be a success, and the kids will have fun, and everyone, attending will have fun as well. But at what cost? I mean, if we look at the Vancouver 2010 Olympics, yeah, it was fun at the time when it was happening, and I think it was like literally a 2-week hangover for me. And thankfully, Vancouver was able to utilize all of the Olympic venues. I think all of them are utilized still. But it cost us a lot of money. And was it worth it? Some will say yes, some will say no. But in my opinion, and just my own opinion, yes, it cost Vancouver a lot of money for the Olympics, but there was a lot that actually came out of it. Upgrades to our infrastructure, the Sea to Sky Highway, the Olympic Oval, and the Olympic Village, just a few of them that come to my mind. And all the other facilities that are used on a daily basis by the citizens. Yes, it costs us a lot of money, but in my opinion, these are being utilized still. My biggest question is, once FIFA leaves, what's going to be the lasting infrastructure that's going to leave a mark that would justify the total cost for having the event? I mean, is it going to be leaving this sign in Vancouver? Or this one in Toronto? I mean, it's like, hey, thanks for spending billions on the FIFA World Cup. Here's your sign.
And FanFest is free.
This will be a 22-day event, and each and every day will look different. Match schedules, programming, and attendance will vary, so planning has focused on managing crowds safely, moving people through the site efficiently, and ensuring services are in place to deliver a positive fan experience each and every day. As we've seen and heard today, the site will be designed to support this. It will include multiple zones such as viewing areas, a main stage, food and beverage spaces, and family-friendly programming. There will be clearly defined entry points, circulation routes, and wayfinding to help people move through the space and enjoy all that it has to offer.
So as you heard right there, there's a lot of logistics going into getting people in and out of this space efficiently. There will be no on-site parking, and so the city is encouraging everyone to take public transit. And again, whether you have a free ticket or you want to buy a premium ticket, you do need a ticket, and those will go on sale beginning on May 6th. Reporting live, I'm Rahim Ladani. Nathan, I'll send it back to you.
So a question I have for everybody, and you already know my opinion on this. Do you think the event is going to be worth the cost? Because what concerns me right now is the amount of secrecy around the budget. And unfortunately, I think the Canadian citizens in Toronto and Vancouver are in for a bit of a surprise. But you know who's not in for a surprise? Montreal. They made the right call if you ask me. To close off this video, I would like to thank Mehar from our Discord server for taking this photo from Nelson, British Columbia. You might actually have a hard time finding the co-host because for a second I actually forgot where I put her. But I want to thank you, Mehar, for posting this in the Discord server and also sharing it with the community. And last thing before I do my usual sign off, I want to thank everybody for congratulating me on my 1 year of the channel. I honestly didn't think I would be here. I literally gave it like 2 months and I would give up. But here we are. 1 year later, no scripts, and me just saying what I want to say. Which some of you have said that is bringing out the snarkier side of me. And I guess it is. I mean, this is who I am. And many of you said, don't change who you are. So, this is GTL. But once again, I want to thank everybody for your support. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can build this year. I do hope to plan to do more live streams and interviews. But my schedule is just a little bit too tight these days. But definitely will be doing them in the future. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international perspective without the US media bias, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified of my future videos. And if you want to see more of my videos relating to the FIFA World Cup, check out the ones that are going to show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone. I'll catch you in the next one.